14-year-olds have access to a smartphone, and 45% of adolescents say they use apps like YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook almost constantly. A recent study reveals the links between their social and mental health and how they spend time online. Psychologist and CBS News contributor Lisa Damour is here. I got that wrong, didn't I? Did I say right? I got it all.
Yep, you got it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So here's the question. What is the link between mental health and these devices?
So we have this new study that has a pretty interesting finding in it, which is that it suggests that it's probably more about the quality of the time they're spending online than the quantity. So what they did, they had 700 middle schoolers, and they sorted them into categories of mental health. So high mental health, these kids had good social connections, low anxiety, low depression. Low mental health, poor social connections, high anxiety, high depression, and then they had a group in the middle. And the surprising finding is that the kids who had great mental health and the kids who had lower mental health were spending the same amount of time online.
So how do you define quality online?
Well, so the first thing we have to be careful about here is that it's very easy for grown-ups to be like, oh, the problem today is kids, their noses are in their phones.
Yes.
And this study really calls that question because they're saying, look, kids can spend quite a bit of time online and it doesn't necessarily correlate with poor mental health. So what we're interested in is what are they doing? And what we see is that what kids are doing in real life tends to be reflected online in their social behavior. So by quality online, what we want to see is that kids have good friendships in real life, get along well, know how to manage conflict effectively, and then get online and deepen those friendships.
So if it's about quality, not about quantity, as a parent, that means
it's a free-for-all.
No limit.
No, it is not a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So here is my view on social media. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's a tool. It can be a benefit or a harm. But all digital technology for kids and also for us should not get in the way of our ability to get a good night's sleep. For kids, it should not get in their way of their ability to focus on their homework and get it done. And it shouldn't get in the way of interpersonal real-life interactions.
Are their interactions different? I mean, online versus face-to-face?
You know, what we really see is that it's a mirror. That if you get along well in real life, you tend to have a lot of fun with your friends online. And if you struggle in real life, you get online and you are not connected to people you know in real life, you have kind of low-quality relationships, or there's drama. And it just amplifies whatever is happening in real life.
Well, this is interesting because as a parent, you're trying to keep track of what your kids are doing, but it's very difficult when they're online.
Yes.
You can't see it, and you don't know what's going on. But so you should, what you're saying is, you should be looking at their relationships out in real life and hope that that's being reflected.
Or worry that it's being reflected, right? So if things are going well, you have reasons to relax. If you feel like, gosh, my kid's kind of struggling to make meaningful connections, and then you're aware that when they're online, they're talking to people they don't really know that well, or they're tending to, there's bullying or victimization going on, that's grounds for concern.
How do you know when that's happening?
So I think, one is you take a cue from what's happening in real life. The other is watch your kid's mood. If being online is not making them feel better, I think we should take that seriously. It's hard to engineer kids' social lives, but social connections at all points of life, and especially in adolescence, are critically important. And if your kid's struggling with that, I would take steps. I would talk to grown-ups who know them at school and ask what's getting in the way. I would not just think, all kids have online drama. That's actually not true.
Yeah. If there is a problem, and as a parent, you have to have that conversation. How do you have it? How do you shoulder tap your teenager and say, I want to talk about your tech use?
Yeah, right. That's the conversation they don't want to have, right? I think you say, look, I'm feeling worried. I, know that you like getting online, but I'm not sure it's making your life better. Another line I love saying to kids is, hey, I think what you're doing isn't working. And that's a pretty direct way to say, I see what you're doing, and it's not working. We need to take a closer look.
Makes a lot of sense, actually, that approach. Lisa Damour, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
On today's CBS This Morning podcast,